Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, a very good evening. Welcome to the Brazilian Grand Prix here in the Premier Formula Racing League. It is round 4 and we are heading to Sao Paulo to first qualify and then race. See here the circuit we are racing on. We have 2 DRS zones, of which one is very long, from turn 12 all the way to turn 1. Turn 13, 14 and 15 are almost no corners at all. And here we are in the pit lane. We have only 14 drivers. That is because some people are running late, but they will come. Also, few reserve drivers today. Again, Ovek, the championship leader, will not race today. Instead, we have Michael racing for him. Nitsen is back in his car. Hardy is back in the car. Wells, we have Cookie replacing in the Williams today. Luka Jovic is, of course, here again. He won the last race in the Netherlands. Let's see if he can repeat that here as well. We wait until everyone is going to the track. In the meantime, I will add these graphics for you so we have a little bit of a insight what people are doing on the track. People we need to watch. Well, of course, Luka Jovic, who won the last race, but also Nitsen Ohana, who was the pole sitter in Mexico only 2 rounds ago. Who else? We have Alex in the car, who crashed in the last race, did not finish unfortunately, but he is fast. Sami Kara, we've seen him race last time in the Netherlands. Like, he is already a champion, so who knows what he can produce here in Brazil. And Brazil, of course, it's only a short circuit, but overtaking is so much fun here. We have 2 overtaking opportunities, both of which we can actually overtake in. So that is going to be very interesting. We already have someone in a lap here. Wagdy is in a lap. It's the first. And of course, then you get the purple sector 2, like you see in the right down corner of your screen. You see a minimap and you see that become purple if it goes fastest. A 181 is a nice first lap, but we know we can go faster. In the practice before, we didn't stream that, but we already saw 178. So let's see what we can get here. It can definitely go faster, of course. Plum also in the lap. Let's follow him in on board here. Already, A-Lord is not in this qualifying session anymore. He crashed, apparently. We saw him there in turn 6. Sector 2, we just came by that. Laura probably had a crash. He is definitely out of qualifying. Didn't set any time, unfortunately. Plum, however, is setting a time. 51.6 for Sector 2. Not the fastest we have seen. The fastest is from Alex. But what can Plum produce here in this lap? First lap of his qualifying session, an 8.4. Just very slow. Michael setting a 19.1. Not the lap he would have wanted. Kara also in a lap. Let's see what he can do here. Sets a 177, only 0.04 of a second behind P1 behind Nitsuno Hana, who sets also a 177. The rookie here, we see Cookie, the rookie, is heading off the circuit onto the grass. Pretends he is a mowing machine. Well, he probably isn't. Goes into the pits as well. Let's see if we have someone in a lap. This is an in-lap. This is also an in-lap from Nitsuno Ohana. Who is that in a lap? Michael is not in a lap, but maybe he will start a lap here. Let's see. Everyone now in the pits. Probably Michael is going into the pit as well. Yes, he is. And so we have everyone in the pits, and the first times have been set here. Fastest by Nitsuno Hana with a 177.57. And 400ths of a second behind we have Samikara. And 2/10 behind we have Alex. All now in the pit. Except for one, that is Ben Dixon. But not setting a lap here. Also Shankstar in a lap here. Actually sets the fastest Sector 1. However, is he in a lap? Yeah, he sure is. Well, let's see what he can produce then in Sector 2. .52.7, definitely not the fastest we have seen. We have seen a 51, so 7/10 up is not the greatest ever. But let's see. P50 now. He can go P8 here, a 199. That is 2 seconds slower. Well, that is slow. Let's hopefully he does it better in the next round. We have Alex going out now, who is a 10th up on his previous time. Will not gain him much. Sector 2 is where it all happens. The low downforce plays a big part. And always the question is, what are drivers going for? Are they going for low downforce here, or are they going for high downforce here, as Alex spins here? And that is the lap for Alex done. Switching to Gandalf. Let's see what he can do. But again, if you have a high downforce, then you are better in Sector 2. If you have low downforce, you are better in Sector 1 and 3. What do you want? For the race, I think low downforce is better. For time trial, qualifying and such, maybe a low downforce is better. Unfortunately, we haven't seen the setups from the drivers here. Most of the times, Luca, who hasn't produced a lap yet, has that a little bit of a lower downforce. As he is then faster on the straights. Jared Kroger is also out. Luka Jovic is also on an out lap, as we see. Let's follow him. The winner in the previous race in the Netherlands. Let's see what he can do here in Brazil. In front of this race, he told everyone to watch out, because he is coming. He will produce a fantastic race, he said, and he will dominate this race. Well, let's see if what he says is coming true. First up, qualifying for him, as he immediately goes wide, and thought that he would invalidated lap. Well, he definitely stopped the lap. But that is not how he wanted to start the lap. Luca goes off track. And invalidates. Who else is in a lap? We see Nitsunohana was in a lap, but invalidates. We see Samikara in a lap. Let's see if he goes faster. Gandalf disqualified for the session. No time set. And gone. His qualifying. He is 2/10 up. 2/10 up will mean he gets the pole position for now. Can he hold that in the third sector? As he crosses the line here, he goes. A 1:7.6 will be enough for pole position right now for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Who else is in the lap? We have Alex in the lap, who is a 10th up by his own time, which is not enough for pole position yet. But what can he do in Sector 2 and what can he do in Sector 3? The lap is not over yet. It is only his second run of this night. That's a good exit here. Goes on the throttle and he is still a 10th up, which will bring him P3. But a little bit stronger as 7-8. But maybe in Sector 3, maybe he has a low downforce, which will mean he is faster here. And it isn't the case. A 7.8 for Alex. Wagdy also in a lap, but a second slower than he was, as Samikara is still ahead, but Luka Jovic sets P2. He said he would dominate. I don't see that yet, Luka Jovic. P2, not really a dominating position. Wagdy is going in. Tainsy, is he in a lap? No, he is not in a lap. Will probably go in as well. Hardy, not in a lap. But everyone set his time except for Biscuit. And Biscuit here will cross the line with a legendary time. A 1:26.4. Only 20 seconds behind the pole sitter. What a time from him. Unbelievable. What a driver. As a reserve, he can be proud. Everyone now inside of the pits. Hardy isn't. Hardy might go for another lap here. Right now, P9 for Hardy. He is a 10th up by his own time, which is not good enough, and he will not be happy about that. Almost loses the car there, but keeps going. What he wants is just improve his time. That is the most important thing for Hardy. Question is, will he do that? And he goes in. He goes in, doesn't see any improvement. Well then. Everyone preparing his tires for the last run. And it gives us time to look at the standings right now. Because last time out, we didn't have Ovek, and now we don't have Ovek again. But Ovek is still in front by 51 points. Luka Jovic right behind him at 47 points. Only 4 points between the two of them. That can change this race, of course. Ben Dixon, P3 with 30 points, together with Tainzy P4 also at 30 points. And behind are all the other people. It's very close still, but that is exactly what we want to see, of course. For the team standings, still about the same, only we see Mercedes now climbing up the table to P5, but McLaren still dominates the table. Let's go back here and see if someone is already out. We saw Alex preparing his tires before, and now he is in a lap. And it will probably be his last lap. Except when he chooses to go twice. That is possible, of course. He's lagging very much. That is probably the potato internet he has. But with the potato internet, he sets a purple sector too. So what can he produce in the third sector? Will that be the fastest time? It is a 1.7635, only 200ths of a second behind Sami Kara. What a time is that? How close is that between the top 5? Unbelievable. Who else do we have in the lab? We have Wagdy, not really in the lab. He is a second slower than he was. Do we have Nitsen in the lab? I think he is. He has some traffic. Let's see if he can deal with that. See Ben Dixon going P6 here, crossing the line. We see Wagner, who retired from the session. Nitsen just casually waiting. Kara in front. And we see that Luka Jovic has already started this lap. He is in front. Behind Luka we have Sami. And behind Sami we have Nitsen Ohana, who went into the pits actually. And retired. Didn't participate for the last round. So the contenders are Sami Kara together with Luka Jovic. And who else can surprise us here in Brazil? First up we have Luka Jovic, who is now in sector 2. A 7.7 for him. Time to beat a 1.76. But Kara, maybe he can go faster as well. Sector 2, Luka Jovic. He is 2/10 up by his own time. Right now, provisional pole for Luka Jovic. What can he do in the third sector? He goes through the last corner here, turn 15. And a 1.74 for Luka Jovic. The pole position is for now for him. Alex Slower will not take that pole position. Do we have Jared Croker? No, we don't. Everyone is in the spins except for Shankstar, who can't beat his time. And that means that we have our pole sitter for today, for Brazil. It is Luka Jovic in the Aston Martin. He is 2/10 faster than the competition. But look how close it is between the top 10. Unbelievable stuff. What a time, Luka Jovic. Let's see, what is the rest of the grid? So right beside him, we have Samikara, only a tenth between them. Alex then 200ths of a second behind Samikara. P4 is for Wegdi in the Alfa Romeo. We have Nitsuno Hana, 3/10 behind in the McLaren. Pom in the Ferrari. Ben Dixon in the Alfa Romeo. Jared Kroger, P8. AlphaTauri, Hardy in the Ferrari. At P9, P10, Tainsy in the Aston Martin will not be there for his teammate in turn 1. And Michael and Cookie, the reserve drivers, are basically last if you don't count the disqualifying of Gandalf. Immediately we go to racing. How excited is that? Waiting now for all the drivers to show up. Of course, waiting for Alex with his potato Wi-Fi. Let's see if he can join. And then we immediately go into racing into that first corner. And what chaos can we see here? If you are watching and not following yet the channel, please do. We have 43 followers already. Only 7 to go, and then we have 50 followers. That will make us so happy. In 10 seconds we will go, then it's lights out. I hope you enjoy. I hope I will enjoy. I hope everyone enjoys. Let's see, we go into racing immediately. It is Sunday the 23rd of April with this round 3 of the Premier Formula Racing League. And the lights are out and we are on our way here. It is Luca versus Samikara. Samikara already into P1 in turn 1. And all the cars are smoothly going through the first few corners. Oh, we see a spin there. The McLaren and the Haas are out of the race. And the Alfa Romeo there is also stuck in the third corner. But fact is, Samikara takes P1 in that first corner of the race. We see the Ferraris going side by side there, and they leave each other enough space, which they didn't do in Netherlands, but we will not go through that again. On board now with Plum, who takes back P6 from Hardy, and Hardy and Gandalf are side by side there. And the Haas of Shankstar and Cookie are right. Oh, and the two Ferraris crashed! The two Ferraris crashed again! They did it in Zandvoort and they do it again here in Brazil! What are they doing? We don't get any safety car yet from that. Luckily we don't get that. What a crash again from the two Ferraris of Hardy and Plum. Meanwhile, we see Alex looking on the back of Luca. Luca on that hard compound tire. That will explain why Samikara was faster away from his line. And Alex on that medium compound tire. If he wants to win this race, he needs to go past very quickly. And we see a few people going side by side. Cookie and Michael, the two reserve drivers, the two rookies in this race, are going side by side. They want to show what they've got, of course. As it stands now, Cookie is in front of Michael. Looking back, and we see that Hardy is very close here to Nitson as he tries it. He is looking, he wants that better exit, of course, out of that turn 3, because that will give him that DRS, which is now enabled. And we have a little bit of a DRS train here behind Cookie. A-Lord in front there, But Cookie is not close enough to get that DRS. Who is getting that DRS is, of course, Alex. As we see that Hardy and Nitsen are going side by side here. In a corner that you don't really expect it. Really close to each other here. And Alex and Luca are now going through that last corner. Up to the turn 14, I wanted to say. And they go already side by side here. On the straight they go, and Alex is past Luca already on that medium compound tire, of course. And he is P2 on his way to Samikara. See, Biscuit lost it. We have a yellow flag for him. The reserve driver is now far back of the pack. Who is also far back of the pack is Ben Dixon, who spun round there in turn 1. In turn 3, I mean. In lap 1. Cookie and A-Lord really fighting for it already. Side by side here. Cookie didn't pass him yet. Especially the midfield will be very exciting. We see Tainsy started from P10 already up into the 5th place here. With a little bit of a DRS train now behind A-Lord. And we have a yellow flag. Is that Michael? Yes, it is Michael. Who is on the grass and spins it around. Oh! Again. Almost run into the... Oh, and he resets the track. Yes, that is legally accepted. Except from the league race here. He will hear about that after this race, of course. Cookie now right beside Alex. He gets that P7. Or is he? He gets the DRS. Alex is getting DRS. And they go 3 wide here into turn 4. And they leave each other alive. That is good. Nitsen now, together with A-Lord, Hardy and Cookie, is the big loser here. Because he is back into P10 now. A-Lord still in front and is holding up the pack so good. Minister of Defense, you might say. Oh, what has happened to A-Lord? A-Lord ghosted and Nitsen, Hardy and Cookie are all getting past here. A-Lord needs to fight back. A-Lord is now right beside Cookie again. They go side by side on that straight. Jared Kroger goes side by side here with A-Lord and is now looking for an overtake on Hardy. It is really packed here in the midfield. Cookie driving all harder line and gets on the inside of A-Lord. And he needs to get that position in this corner. But he doesn't. He doesn't get the position. Doesn't dare to dive bomb yet. All very close here. We saw some movement as well with Gandalf and Tainsy. And we see Michael standing still in the second turn in Sector 1. But he is already driving away. No safety car necessary for now. But we have a spin from Hardy as well. Hardy has been spun around out of this group of people who are now really close to each other. Wagdy is looking at the back of Cookie and the back of A-Lord. A-Lord already doesn't have any ERS left. We see the red light blinking already. That is very early in this race. And We have no safety car yet. In the previous race, we had a lot of safety cars. We have 5. We had 5 safety cars. Luckily, we don't have that much safety cars right now. And Wegdy goes. He has that DRS, enables that ERS, and gets past Cookie very easily. Now on the inside into turn 1. And Cookie tries to cross back here. Takes another line and tries it again, probably into turn 4. We don't want to see this stupid scene. We want to see this. 4 cars now, all behind each other. But also very interesting is the battle between Samikara and Alex. Because Alex is gaining on Samikara. He wants to win. He wants to win every race, and every time now he either spun or crashed. He wants to feel again how it is to win. He had so much bad luck. And we see the backlight of Alex flickering, which means his ERS is already gone in lap 9. We have a yellow flag here. Is that again Michael? It might be Michael who is on the grass here, which is not really what we want. You need to be on the circuit to race, not on the grass. Back to the action, you might say, for P1. Alex now half a second behind Kara with no ERS. He has a little bit of ERS. The light isn't flickering anymore. Okay, there is the flickering light and the lag from Alex. But don't worry. He is getting closer and closer to the back of Samikara here. Let's see if he already tries it here down into turn 4. He has a lot of laps still to do it. He is looking in his mirrors, but he is not attacking yet. Samikara, of course, knows that he is too far back. Probably also knows that his ERS is a little lower than his. But Alex is very, very close to the back end now of the Mercedes of Samikara. Luca, meanwhile, is 4 seconds off from the two that are racing here. That is a lot. But he is also on the hard compound tire, of course. Now on the straight we go. Through turn 15 we go. Let's see if Alex is trying it here. Round the outside into turn 1. Well, that is quite easy for Alex. Kara lets him go. Probably wants that DRS for turn 4. And now Samikara knows that Alex is out of ERS. If he keeps this calm and clean, then probably he will get that P1 back very soon. Meanwhile, back to the pack a little bit further behind. We see that Cookie is now further back from Plum and A-Lord. We see a yellow flag for Biscuit, is that, I think, in sector 3 in turn 15. But he is driving already. Still very close between those guys. It's a little bit of a DRS train, while we see that Biscuit really can't drive in this league because he spins and he spins. Maybe he is a little bit like Mazepin. He buys himself in this league to get chaos here. That is what we want, but what we really want, of course, is good racing. And good racing is not really what Biscuit is giving us here. Far behind, 30 seconds, together with Michael. But yeah, they are rookies. It's their first race. Anything can happen, of course, as he goes into the pits. Probably has some damage. We do not know that. Hardy as well in the pits. It's lap 13 of 36. No damage, but goes to the hard compound tire. Back to the front. We saw that Luca was 4 seconds behind 2 laps ago. Now it is shrunken down by half a second. He is now 3.5 seconds behind. That is gonna be interesting for the end of the race. And I think both of these drivers, Sami Kara and Luka Jovic, are looking for the end of the race. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Michael gets a 3-second time penalty. How much time penalties does he have already? Okay, it's only 3 seconds. No one else has time penalties. And Gandalf, what a start of this race he has had. 12 positions gained in those first 13 laps. Also Tainsy, 5 positions gained. We have A-Lord, 5 positions gained. Alex, 2 positions gained. But can he hold on to that? That is the big question. My gut tells me he has no ERS. He also not medium compound tire. Kara is having ERS. He will not keep this pace up much longer. But yeah, let's see when he pits. Let's see what he does. We don't know his strategy, of course. Might be very smart. We don't know. But Tainsy and Gandalf are really fighting for P4. Gandalf and Tainsy, the two who gain most positions here in the first 14 laps. And Tainsy on that hard compound tire. He will think the same. Like, okay, I can drive a lot of laps on this. I don't need to overtake you, because if you pit, I can go faster. The hard compound tire will improve by time. But for us, you can always try it, Tainsy. You can always try it here down into turn 14. 4, I mean. But he isn't doing that. A-Lord and Plum also very close to each other, only half a second between them, fighting for P9. And Luka Jovic is getting closer and closer. He was, like I said a few laps ago, 4 seconds behind. Now 3.4 seconds behind. And it stays a little bit in that same seconds. So let's see how much he gains when Samikara and Alex decides to pit. Question is, in which lap do they decide to pit? Because I think in a few laps that will happen. 15 laps on a medium tire. Might be the case. He's going in this lap, maybe next lap. But I think this race will be very exciting by the end of it. Right now it's more like waiting till something happens. Well, we have those races, of course. In the beginning, it did happen. A lot of shit happens. But yeah, fight between Tainzy and Gandalf. Maybe Gandalf is going in. Who is going in are Alex and Sami Kara. Both of them going in. And Luka Jovic gets P1 back. Because he is on that hard compound tire and he is going long. Who is faster? Sami Kara and Alex are going out at the same time. Tainzy will get that P2 because he didn't pit as well. And Nitsun will get by as well. He doesn't pit yet. And they are very close now on that hard compound tire. Of course, they will be very, very cold. But we know that Kara has that bigger battery. So let's see how fast he can get by Alex. As we see, we have Kara on 87%. And Alex, we have 43%, as I can see. For now, Tainzy and Luka both P1, P2, like they wanted to be. And I want to see how much time is in between. An average pit stop is around 17 seconds, as we can see. How much time can Alex gain during these first couple of laps? Well, if they are going to fight, neither of them will win this race. So they need to work together, the Mercedes and the Red Bull, in order to win this race. Question is, will they do that? Because Kara right now is really close and he wants to get by. But they are no teammates, so they need to fight it out. But this is very good for Luka Jovic, who actually is driving away. 17-3 now away from the leader. This is gonna be exciting. When is he going to pit is the question. And if he is going to pit, Luka, then he of course goes to that medium compound tire. And of course he will be faster, fresher and faster. And we have a yellow flag for Cookie, who is driving very slow but is already driving there into turn 4. 17.1 seconds. Average pit stop time 18 seconds. So as it stands, Alex and Sami Kara will go in front of Luka when Luka pits. But like I said, Luka will go on that medium compound tire, which will mean that he is faster. But they need to work together here, Kara and Alex. No teammates at all. But they are not fighting yet. So I think they might have heard the commentator voice. We have a yellow flag again. That is Jared Groker, who lets his teammate by. Or the other way around. Biscuit lets his teammate by, Jared Groker. .9 behind the race leader. Alex is taking as tight of a line as he can get. And Tainzy is falling back. He did go inside of the pits. Now is the time to go to mediums. That will probably mean that we will see a pit stop from Luka Jovic in the next lap, or maybe the lap after that. They are teammates, so they probably will go in one by one. Gandalf now is overtaking Tainsy again. So the pit strategy of Tainsy did not work out, unfortunately for him. 16.6 seconds behind Luka Jovic. Still not enough to make a pit stop. But let's see if he goes in, the race leader. He is not. He is driving. He goes for another lap. He wants the freshest, the most fresh tires he can get. The medium compound tire. Because he needs to fight with Alex and Samikara. This will be a hell of a last couple of rounds. We see Nitson going inside of the pits. And he will lose a couple of positions. And Wagdy Samikara and Alex are still not fighting. And this is a brilliant camera angle, which we love to see. So thanks EA for this. Amazing work. Still, no ERS for Alex. But he is still managing to keep up the pace. Right now we see Tainsy and Gandalf side by side there in turn 4. And Tainsy runs wide because of that. But he is on that medium compound tire. And this fight we will see in the front as well in a couple of laps. And Luka now is inside of that pit lane. Where are Alex and Samikara? Alex and Samikara are now going onto straight through turn 15. This is gonna be exciting. Where does Luka end up? Luka will go out of the pits right now and is behind. Question is, how many seconds is he behind? Cold tires, but he is on a medium compound tire. Again, 3.7 seconds. So he didn't gain any time making that pit stop. He did, however, lose a lot of time because he had 3.5 seconds. Now he has 4 seconds. So he needs to make some time, correct. But he has 14 laps to do so. Luka told us in front of the race that this will be an easy race. He will dominate this race. He will start at the front and just drive away. As it stands, he is P3 and 4 seconds behind the race leader. Which is not really a dominating race if you ask me. Right now, Alex is overtaken by Kara. And Alex will try it back here. And is so close to that back of Kara. But Kara took P1 while we were watching Luka. Maybe not the best moment to watch to Luka. But this fight will go on. And if this fight will continue, Luka's seconds will only go down. And this will benefit him. 3.3. We had 4 seconds when we crossed that line. So Luka is really going for a fastest lap here. We already see him there in the background. There he is. There he is. 3 seconds now behind Alex. And Alex doesn't have any ERS left. Luka Jovic sets the fastest lap of the race, a 9.7. Of course, because he was going for it. We saw that. And Alex now really close to the back of Kara. He doesn't try it yet. because he has no ERS left to fight with. He only has 5%. Yeah, you're not going to race with that, unfortunately. But Alex is not someone who you can tell, you know, you crashed the last couple of races, so please take it slow. Just finish this race. Don't take any risk. No, he wants to win. He wants to win this race. But we have other people who want the same. Oh, Alex, take it easy, my guy. Just finish this race. Almost slips away there out of that turn 13. And now loses a lot of time. And who is behind already is Luka Jovic. 1.7 seconds now is the gap between the top 3. Who is going to win this race? No one can tell, actually. No one can tell. Alex already made up his mistake and is now 4/10 behind Sami Kara. And Luka sees them. He wants them. And Tainsy, 14 seconds is he behind the top 3. The top 3, 14 seconds faster in 25 laps. What a difference. And I just love the camera angles of EA. This is far better. And he is in that DRS already from Alex. The top 3, the Mercedes of Sami Kara, the Red Bull of Alex, and the Aston Martin of Luka Jovic. If only a OFEC was racing this race. We had 4 cars of 4 different constructors fighting for the win. But now we have 3 cars who are fighting for the win here in Brazil. And the one I would put my money on is definitely Luka Jovic on that medium compound tire. The 3 now in one shot. What a beautiful shot is this. And he is seeing them. Look how much ERS he has left. 95%. What a boss. And here he goes already. Into turn 1 we go. Is he trying it? He is looking, but he is not trying it into turn 1. Tries to get a better exit here out of turn 3, but is far away from that and is not using any ERS. He wants to take no risk at all. He knows I am on that medium compound tire, but I think he must know that that medium compound tire will not last forever. He is faster now, but in 10 laps those tires will be dead. And he knows that as well. If he wants to win this race, it needs to happen quickly. And he is so close now to the back of Alex. But Alex also very close to the back of Kara. And Alex is saving his energy. Oh, and Luka almost spins. Luka almost spins. Locks his rear tires. And almost spun in that turn 13. And Alex now is trying it into turn 1. Really close, but not daring to dive into turn 1 yet. Gets a good exit. Is really on the back of Kara. But is he doing it right here? Is looking, but still not doing anything. And it seems like Luka is just too afraid to brake very deep with his tires. It might be that his setup is just not good enough for his brakes, actually. But he's back to the pack. Not looking again here, so that is good. And goes up to the straight. The three of them here in one shot. Now, really close here to the back and tries it in the first corner. They are side by side and Luca takes P2 here. Now, can he get Kara into one go? That would be something, right? He is on the back of Kara. Tries it into turn 4. No, he doesn't yet. But he has that P2 from Alex. Now switching to Tainsy, who is in a fight with Nitsun Ohana. Nitsun Ohana very close here to the back of Tainsy. And they are both on the medium compound tires, so no tire differences here. And Luca, you see it, Luca will try it in the next lap. We can feel it here. They go on the straight and Luca will get that DRS and he is already next to the Mercedes of Sami Kara. He didn't even need to press the overtake button. Luka Jovic takes P1 here in Brazil. Fight between the top three probably is over. And I think Alex and Sami Kara will now fight it out for P2. Also a fight going on here with Jared Kroger and Wagdy for P7. Nitsun Ohana and Tainsy still very close to each other. So there are 3 fights going on here, of which one is for the lead. Wagdy, who crashed very hard in the Netherlands, did not finish again. So if he finishes a race, that will be very good of him. Biscuit again is letting someone by, probably because of blue flags. And the rookies in this league are not doing great. Michael in P16, Biscuit in P15, Cookie P13. But everyone needs to learn, of course. Jared Kroger looking but not daring. How about Nitsa Ohana together with Tainsy? Also very close, now on board with Nitsun. And we have a yellow flag. Who is that? Probably Hardy then. Yes, Hardy went off the track here. Not really interesting at all. What is interesting? Nitsun Ohana and Tainsy. Let's see if he can try it here then. Tries to get a good exit, but Tainsy gets a very, very good exit out of that turn 13. As we have a yellow flag again, which is for Cookie most probably. Yes, it is. Cookie has lost it. Nitsun Ohana, will he try it here in turn 4? He is closer than ever. He will not press that overtake button. He will wait. But how long will you wait, Nitsun? How long will you wait? Jared Kroger also passed that turn 4. And the top 3 still very close to each other. Sami Kara is keeping up with Luca, which will be interesting by the end of the race because the medium compound tire will go a little bit slower in the next couple of laps. And as it seems, the medium compound tire is already dropping off here. Sami Kara is still having that DRS from Luka Jovic. They are both at the same level of ERS. But who will take P1 here? Because I thought that Luca would drive away. At least that is what he said himself. Like I already said a dozen of times. But he isn't driving away at all. Kara is still in his DRS. And we have 3 laps to go here in the Brazilian Grand Prix here in Interlagos in the Premier Formula Racing League. Cookie and Hardy really fighting for it in the back. Hardy now side by side with Cookie. This is gonna be interesting down into turn 4. Hardy has that inside line here. He keeps that inside line, but Cookie stays on the outside line and stays in P13. Nitsun Ohana and Tainsy now going side by side. Through Sector 2 they go, still side by side here. Tainsy has that inside line. Nitsun let him go, but can cross here. He doesn't do that. And Tainsy still in front here of Nitsun Ohana. But Nitsun at least is trying. He is burning his ERS and he wants that P4 for once. We see that the fight is going on here. As we see A-Lord retiring from this race. Not part of the race anymore. And there they go again. Tainsy and Nitsun Ohana both run out of ERS. But that means they are equal. And Nitsun gets the DRS. Here, down into turn 4. How close is Nitsun to the back of Tainsy? Well, he is close, but not close enough. And he has 2 more laps to do it. Unless maybe he gets a very good exit out of this. Can he go side by side here then? Into turn 5 we go. Not yet as it seems. Oh, very close now. Brakes very late there. Not touching at all. And Luca is a second off of Kara here. Which means that Luca is free. And he goes straight to the finish line. Unless he makes a mistake. But he hasn't made a mistake in this race yet. Back to Nitsun, who is now side by side with Tainsy in the first corner. Tainsy on that inside line keeps him, but Nitsun needs to try it here. He needs to get a good exit in turn 4. Tainsy is going very defensive, pushes Nitsun round the outside, and together they go into turn 4. Still side by side. Nitsun leaves it, but is now back behind Tainsy. And he dives bomb there. Still side by side. And they leave each other alive. Still alive. And Luca is already on the straight as he crosses the line to take P1 here in the Brazilian Grand Prix. But we want to see this fight. How about Knudsen? Are they going for it on the straight again? Because that is possible. We have seen that with Lewis Hamilton and Gasly. Is it... Oh, no, it is not happening today, unfortunately. Knudsen is losing the car. But what a fight he has delivered together with Tainzi. Luca is P1 here, and Samikara takes P2 with Alex completing the podium on P3. Gandalf finishes in P7. Jared Croker in P8. Plum P9. And Mr. Ben Dixon completes the top 10 here in Brazil. In the beginning, we had seen a little bit of a boring race, but at the end, all things came together, and it was very exciting after all. And with this position from Luca, he will go P1 in the driver standings, because Ovek wasn't there. Tainzi and Knudsen really fought for it. But Tainzi is still ahead in the driver championship. But what a race again by Luka Jovic, who takes his second race win in 4 races. Amazing job by him. Also, Alex finally on the podium after a few races where he did not finish. Samikara also on the podium. He will be happy with that. And the Aston Martin crew, of course, look how happy they are. This has been it. If you don't follow the channel yet, please do. We are almost at 50 followers. If you enjoyed the stream, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Subscribe if you are new. Next week we have Japan. So I hope I'll see you guys then. For now, have a great evening. And goodbye.